In this video, I'll be showing you guys how to never die off spawn again. I spectated some of the top pros like peterbot, Cold, and Ritual to see what the best strategies are for off spawn fighting and how to create advantages that make it impossible to lose. Anyways, enough yapping, let's get straight into the video. The very first tip I have for you guys is making a drop map and a loot route. And if you don't know how, it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right now. First, all you have to do is go to this website called landingtutorial.com and then just select the ping POI option. Put your POI in, then just choose any bus route and select find best drop. And it will calculate the best place to aim for when dropping from that route. And then you can go to fortnite.gg, select the marker option, and place a marker right where it's set on the calculator. Then just calculate every single bus route you can from top to bottom, side to side, all of them diagonal every single way, and it should look a little something like this. But before you go into a tournament, I would recommend testing each ping in a pub match or ranked or whatever you'd like, because you might have to adjust it since it's not professionally made. The second tip is going to be what you should do right after you make your drop map, and that's having a set loot route that should look a little something like this, and this will maximize your chances of being stacked right as you touch down instead of sprinting around looking for weapons. All you have to do is go to FNGG, turn on all the chest options and the floor loot options. Let's say I want to land here on this weapon. I just go up here, select a path, and then click on this weapon. And then I go here, 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 let's say here, 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 and that's basically going to be my loot route for the first couple seconds of the match. And let's say I'm on con, then I can just scrap the loot route and then just go as fast as I can looting everything. Or if you really care a lot, you can make a loot route for the entire POI when you're unconned. But odds are you're going to be conned at a spot like this, so I would just make a small loot route like this, farm up, and then maybe go start looting in the center if you really want to fight. But yeah, you should be able to collect all of these weapons, and this should be enough to stack you, and then you can just leave and go loot somewhere else like here. And yeah, that should be enough. Again, I would recommend testing your loot route in pubs just to see what are the most likely things to spawn, because we all know that not everything is 100% spawn rate except for these glowing chests right here. So yeah, just test this before you go into a tournament and I'll guarantee you'll do 10 times better. So here we have a perfect example of what a good loot route is from Pollo. As soon as he touches down on the ping that he made from the drop map, he instantly goes to this weapon that he already knows is there, gets the chest, gets the barrels, always as quick as possible. He's done this 1,000 times already, probably. Maybe not 1,000, but definitely a bunch of times. He knows exactly where to go. He knows exactly where all the spawns are. He even knows which mats he wants to get, which are the most efficient. I promise you think I'm tripping, but these are what the pros are thinking. Definitely done this a bunch of times in scrims, and that's what you guys have to practice with these drop maps. Now, before we get into the third tip, I would really appreciate you guys if you guys hit that like button and that subscribe button. It really helps a lot. And if you guys could put in my supporter creator code RAVFN, it's right here. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, let's get back into the video. Now, for the third tip that I got from watching a bunch of Cold and peterbot's gameplay is learning how to use lurking properly. Since most players are going to be less stacked with a little to no mats, then that means that any entry tags you get by catching the opponent by surprise will basically establish who wins the fight from the very beginning. And the best way to catch someone by surprise is by hiding around corners or simply crouching around right hands. Always make sure that you have some sort of right hand, because crouching around on the left hand completely ruins the point. I see way too many people doing this. Let's watch and see how Cold eliminates this trio by himself by simply crouching around and waiting. He sees this player ramping up to him, and all he does is stays put in a super good right hand. The opponent can't hear him at all, doesn't have visuals, and instantly sees him before from the right hand, and eliminates 2 people from just crouching around. And these are Div 1 players, so you can't say that they're bad. And like I said, he was sitting on the right hand, which makes him see them before they see him. And obviously crouching around has no visual sound effects, so it's extremely broken off spawn. And these players didn't see any visual or didn't hear anyone, so they just aggroed in without really thinking. And that's when Cold just 2v1s. Simple. And now it's the pressure of a 3v1. Basically impossible to lose this, so Cold just walks in, just greeds the 50-50, and pretty much just And yeah, that's how you use lurking properly. Now for the fourth tip that I have for you guys is going to be getting height. It's such a simple tip, yet I see no one using this. You don't have to use much mats, just make a couple ramps up and scout out for the opponents in the POI, or even when someone shoots you, all you can do is just use the buildings, ramp up on the buildings, and we're gonna see how Ritual uses height to his advantage in this fight. This fight right here also is foreshadowing my next tip, which is getting as much mats as you can off spawn. We see that Ritual just got a chest from here, and he did farm a couple things inside the house. You can farm things like floors, walls, these little tables. Literally anything you look at in this game is farmable, so just start smacking anything you see if you're really shambles off spawn, because builds are the most crucial thing off spawn and can be the game changer when fighting off spawn. I can point out like 5 things that you can farm in this situation right here. Go up, farm these barrels, farm this little thing on the side, this railing, this wall, the railing down here, the floors, everything you can farm here, and that's gonna give you like 50 mats, 100 maps maybe, and that's pretty much all you need off spawn to make a difference. So Ritual, all he does is hear the opponent fighting from over here on his left front side, and then as soon as he sees the opponent or gets the visual sound effect, he instantly goes up on the builds that he got. And since the opponent did not use my tips and did not get mats off spawn, he has very low mats in this fight. I already watched it. And all Ritual has to do now is stay up on height and take these little peeker's advantage shots that you get from height. As every time you jump off, you're taking the peak, so you have the advantage of, it's not even ping, it's just peeker's advantage is the thing in every single game. If you're the one taking the peak first, your opponent has to react to you, which gives you the advantage of the first shot. And on height in Fortnite, it's super broken because you can take the peak, shoot, and build to cover yourself instantly, only getting tagged a little bit here for like 20 damage, and the opponent got hit hard. Then he gets another hard hit again, and this is all happening because the opponent just didn't get mats, and Ritual, all he has to do is sit on height. He could have sat on height more if he wanted to, because he should have realized by now that the opponent has 0 mats. And yeah, all he has to do now is close out the fight since he has insane health advantage. And yeah, that's a little fight for you guys. That's basically 2-in-1. I will give you guys more examples in a second here, but that's just a little 2-in-1 for you guys. So yeah, getting height off spawn super broken, and getting mats quickly is super crucial, and Ritual does those perfectly, closing out the fight. Alright guys, so this is gonna be another great example on how good height is off spawn, and we see Muzz here instantly doing exactly what I said, and that is getting on a wood ramp here on a building. Like, you don't have to waste that much mats, you can just get on the high building and then get up on a ramp, and then now he knows that the opponent's right here, and Muzz has the advantage of high ground, so he can spray down on them. He knows he's telling Clicks, his teammates right now, these are where the opponents is. Like, he would have never known that the opponents were there if he didn't get up on height, and if he started looking around a little bit more, he would have known where the other opponent was too. And you can see the other opponent is also getting on height just because it's so good. Like, if somebody was on this tower right here on this layer, they would have had max vision on the entire team. Like, I'm telling you guys, get height off spawn, it's super broken. And these are all Division 1 players, so you know that all of them know what they're doing. Now in this one, I'm looking at Cold, I'm spectating Cold, and I'm going to show you guys how important getting mats is again. And what happened here is Cold went for a gun outside on the railroads, and he actually got it, but he got spotted out and now is getting shot at and is put in a really bad position, is at 38 HP. But he knows from studying this map that there's barrels in his loot route, so he starts going towards the barrels, but then he hears the opponent behind him and realizes he's not going to have enough time to farm all of this and pop the barrels. So what he actually does is goes for the chest, since that he knows that that's going to give him mats, and this is why getting mats is so important. He gets like 30 mats from here, places the builds, in front of him to block him off, and also gets the barrels at the same time. And now the opponent is scared because he has the best position with these mats. And all he has to do now is just lurk around. The opponent doesn't know where he is anymore because he's lurking around, like I said. And then all he has to do is wait for the opponent to make a bad play. He walks in and then just holds the right hand and kills him. And Cold instantly turns a horrible situation into a kill. And this is why he is one of the best players. Anyways, that's going to end the video for today, guys. If you guys did watch to the end, make sure you comment Miss Incredible. I do appreciate you, Liner Bro, for gifting me this skin. Thank you. Also, stay tuned for the next video, guys. I will be posting a pro breakdown on an EU player. I'm sorry I've been taking this much time. It's just my thumbnail artist hasn't been able to work, and I'm not really good at thumbnails, so I don't want to post a pro breakdown without a good thumbnail. I hope you guys understand. He will be back anytime now. So yeah, keep an eye out for that pro breakdown part 7, I think it is. And yeah, I'll see y'all boys in the next one. Peace.